Are you serious, Steve? They're actually in front of the garage. They're not letting the players out. These guys here that say tu sei tutta la mia vita, which it is to me as well, and Steve as well too. They're blocking everything. They're not letting everybody out because they want to have a meeting.
Yeah, they want a meeting, and it's just, and I disagree with you, these people should stay in front of that garage until Allegri gets sacked. But let's go with the show.
Cari, amici, sportivi, welcome to yet another edition of Red Car Weekly, here where we mostly speak on about the Serie A, sometimes some international, sometimes some European. And yes, we're not professionals, nor do we pretend to be. I am, I'm so pissed off after watching this. I don't even have nicknames. But we do have a surprise. We do have a surprise.
Yes.
First of all, let me introduce you, Steve. Signor Steve Polillo. I am Vince Tavernese, and not only are we filming on a Saturday, which is like the Twilight Zone, what do we have for our viewers' delight today, Mr. Polillo?
Our viewer delight today is, we have a guest on the show tonight. He's homegrown from Montreal. It's AC Milan, MTL. He basically does all Milan all the time. Match reports, which are very good. You should check them out. Daily news, always on his Twitter feed. And he's all AC Milan all the time. Gio Leo from AC Milan MTL is with us via Skype.
Wow! And then we say we have no budget.
Yeah.
Look at us. Look at us. What's up?
Gio, how are you?
Hey guys, thanks for having me on the show. Really appreciate the call up, and let's do this.
All right.
Perfect. So Gio, I have to ask you, AC Milan Genoa, what are your thoughts on today's game?
A very, very disappointing match altogether, guys. Altogether, after coming into it from the international break, we definitely wanted a match in which we would see getting the 3 points and not another tie, which really means nothing in the standings altogether.
True. Very true.
And what I have to say, guys, the performance wasn't that bad altogether. However, the result is what the most disappointing part of tonight, really.
Well said, well said. Now we know Milan struggles. We know that they're sitting right now at 11th place at 14 points, which is not Milan territory ever to be in the 11th spot. That being said, what do you have? What are your thoughts on the future of Milan? As someone who follows them day in and day out, as passionate as you do, if you could give us a little rant on basically the players, the coach, the administration, and of course the pillar, the ownership.
Well, as you said, Steve, a very hard moment for any diehard Milanista at the moment. And even for the casual guys, even for the ones that watch Milan games all together once in a while, you know. Very hard moment, as you said. Definitely, I don't see a bright future right now, guys.
Would you actually do this whole like Lady B, giving her the direction? Because right now, after watching a game like today, and you know what, right now, even me, my glasses, it's not half full anymore. I can't take the shit. Sorry, I can't take this anymore. I'm looking at this Milan society now. Do we need to go and go get Lady B up there? Galliani, if he wants to stay. Put Maldini, put Albertini. We need a shake-up, because I don't even think firing Allegri right now would actually make a difference.
You're absolutely correct, Vince. As I said, many people are giving Allegri, they want him to leave the team, they want him killed, pretty much, if I could say it. But in my opinion, it's much more than that, guys. It's much more than just the coach itself. As you said, the management plays a big part into this. Berlusconi and Galliani definitely knew the problems before coming into the season. They knew the problems that this team had in the last season, including the defense and other departments of the team, which I don't even want to name because everyone should know by now.
Yeah.
And what did they do in the summer transfer season, guys? What did they do? Nothing at all.
Zero.
Nothing to fix the situation. Nothing to improve it. And as Allegri says, we'll be in a better position by Christmas, but I really, really doubt it, guys.
Okay.
I really doubt it.
Absolutely, absolutely well said. I have to just say something on Allegri. Personally, myself as a Milanista, I stopped listening to Allegri maybe around week 2 or 3. But what I really want to concentrate, especially after today's game, is the players themselves. After a game like today, my personal opinion is I saw no grinta, no voglia to to take the game to another level. Even with a man down, Genoa was able to hold off a far superior Milan team. What's your take on the players and their attitude and their body language when you watch the games?
Exactly. Very good point there. As I said, the players, I think there needs to be a figure in the locker room that gives these players the grinta and tell them all together, you know what, guys, we don't want to see a repeat of last season. We don't want to put ourselves in the same shoes as last season. Something needs to be done on the pitch, on the field, guys. Something needs to be done all together. There needs to be more grinta, as you said, all together. The players gotta come out every match and show their true support for the shirt. Because after all, guys, we're playing for Milan. We're not playing for as a middle table team. That's the message we should give.
We only see what De Jong and Kaká with La Grinta. Balotelli now is not doing very well. I just feel that this whole society of Milan, I think they're taking us fans for fools, that they're hiding something from us. And you know what? At least come out and say this is what we're trying to do. Like Inter did last year. Yeah, they were disappointing, Inter fans, but they knew they were reconstructing us. It's like we're there in the dark. And you know what? The more I'm thinking about it, maybe the ultras have a right to ask for a meeting with the players and figure out what the hell is going on with this Milan. Because you know what? If this is what we're gonna play, forget Celtic, forget the passing Champions League, forget about next year's Champions League. Let's put everything down to scratch and rebuild for next year. Because right now, I don't know.
So that's what it is basically with this Milan team. We see there's 3 Milanistas on this panel here. No glass is half full. They're all half empty. Gio, one last question for you, a little bit on the comical note before we let you PR yourself. Over under, how many people get injured after La Curva Sud blocks the parking lot?
I'll go with 2.5. Over 2.5.
What's your over under on that?
Yeah, I'll probably go with the over as well.
Over 2.5?
The odds are currently not the best, but you know what? After the performances we've seen recently,
I think that over should be at 4.5.
I wouldn't even doubt banking on that.
Yeah, probably with the Milan players that we have now, they'll manage to hurt themselves. Gio, please tell everybody how they can follow you and watch your videos.
Yes, so as Steve mentioned at the beginning, you guys can follow me on Facebook and Twitter where I post daily Milan news to keep you guys updated on a daily basis. On Twitter, it's at AC Milan MTL. And on Facebook, /AC Milan MTL. I also post match reviews and news and much more on my YouTube channel. You can subscribe to me on youtube.com /AC Milan MTL.
Perfect, Gio. Thank you very, very much. I am pretty positive when I say we will have you on the show again.
Maybe live.
Thank you. Yeah, maybe live. We'll have this. Gio, his hair is never undone. So,
yeah, look at that hair.
We'll have it live for you guys.
And thank you for being a Milanista, possibly single on a Saturday, that you're not doing anything on a Saturday night like us over here and joining us on Red Card Weekly. Thanks a lot, and we'll keep in touch.
Thank you, Steve and Vince, for having me on the show, and I really hope I come back on the show eventually.
Don't you worry about it. Ciao, bud.
Ciao.
Ciao, guys. Ciao.
So, I think that pretty much sums it up, right? I think we needed to talk a bit more about this whole Milan situation, and not only us from here, all our other people, like, we are frustrated, desperate, and let's see what develops now, because we are just filming just after the game. But you know what, we got about 10 minutes left, Steve, because if we keep on talking about Milan, we can do an hour show, right?
Exactly.
So, we had a couple of games. We did have the Chievo, what should we call it? The
Chievo Verona, the Derby della Verona.
The della Verona, and what happens, 92nd minute, I think they needed to swing Chievo with the one defensive mistake there. But anyways, that was the game. Then we had Milan-Genoa, and we had
Napoli-Parma.
In Napoli. So, Steve, we were looking for pictures, and I think we found a perfect picture for the Napoli. And Steve, can you please explain?
Perfectly. Basically, here is your Napoli sleep set.
Oh.
As Napoli has decided to take a little bit of a snooze in the Serie A Scudetto race, as they probably don't think it's very important to keep up to Roma and Juventus.
Yeah. So this is
basically what explains Napoli right now. They're sleeping. I don't know what they're waiting for to put the accelerator on, We all know that Serie A is always a marathon, and every point is critical. And today's 1-0 loss
At home.
at home to Cassano's Parma,
And
owned by Cassano, is very, very bad for Napoli's momentum going forward in the weeks in Serie A. We'll see about Champions League as well.
Or we can look at it another way, guys, is that if Napoli has to have hiccups during the season, is it better off to have these little hiccups now? Because, you know, the gap, okay, there is a gap where, you know, like you're getting these hiccups now, but they feel that a strong team, so we'll see how they react against Dortmund this week for Napoli. So yes, Cassano does score a brilliant goal, and guys, we want to take the time to talk about this because we don't find that a lot of people take the time to speak about Signore Cassano. We Milanistas have him right over here for obvious reasons how he turned his back on Milan. But after seeing what he's done, Steve, at the beginning of the year, even you know how he's got this rebirth like a phoenix rising from the ashes, and him solely, yeah, you know, he rises from the ashes.
Wow.
Yeah. Does Cassano
belong on the national team?
Deserve-
Yes, he does, because Prandelli keeps on calling Osvaldo. And last week, we saw what Osvaldo did. Okay? Now, would you rather have Cassano on this national team or Osvaldo? Answer that question.
Cassano?
Bang. There you go. Prandelli, call Cassano.
But
Then, if we throw in Totti in that mix, do you want Totti or Cassano? Because there's only space for one of them.
That's
Boom.
up.
The answer is Totti. That's the problem that the national team had. Nothing taking away from Cassano, playing fantastic with Parma. He seems to do well with the low-level teams, and he does perform exceptionally well against the big team. What a fantastic goal today. A single run, solo run against a Napoli defense that unfortunately decided we don't believe that he could score, so we're gonna make him take a shot. And what did he do? He scored.
yeah, and Cassano, like we'll see. I truly believe, like, you know what, Cassano the person is one thing, just like Pirlo the person is one thing for me. But as the player, we need him. The way he's looking, and you see what happens when a guy is happy up here, how he's able to perform. And you know what, maybe having Mario and him together, because remember during the Euros, as we were watching those highlights, they connected like this, right?
But if Mario continues like this, Mario Balotelli, I know that he's a staple on the Nacional, but Mario Balotelli is in a very, very big slump and very, very mentally struggling. But that, we'll keep it for another episode.
yeah.
What we're gonna do now, since it's Saturday, we'll go through the rest of the games for for this Sunday.
By the way, I just wanted to let you know, Steve, I'm not going to be watching the World Cup this year. Next year, I don't think it's worth, you know, it's lost a bit of its luster.
Okay.
So I just wanted to put that out there, you know, if Ibra says it, obviously,
Obviously. Now, the Serie A games this week, we have, again, one that Napoli is going to be watching for sure. It's Livorno-Juve.
In Livorno.
In Livorno.
Prediction.
What's your prediction on that, Vinny?
A tie.
Livorno says a tie, Vince says a tie, Livorno-Juve. I think that Juve wins it commandingly after seeing Napoli struggle.
Okay. We'll see.
The next game we have, another game that Lazio will be following because they're right up their ass in the standings, and that is Udinese-Fiorentina.
You meant to rear behind, by the way.
Rear behind.
Udinese-Fiorentina, in Udine.
Yes, sir.
They haven't won in a while, Udinese to win at home.
Udinese to win at home. For me, I see that game as a draw. Maybe as a trap game. Fiorentina doesn't have that experience to take advantage of a loss like that.
Alright.
Next game is the other 9 o'clock game would be Sampdoria-Lazio. Napoli's not going to be watching that one. What are your thoughts on Sampdoria-Lazio?
Lazio with a 2-1 win in extremis. I think.
Samp, if I'm not mistaken, they're starting with their new coach this weekend.
Mihailovic. Sinisa
So,
Mihailovic.
usually those games pretty much in Serie A, there's a lot of hype.
I forgot about that. I changed my prediction. I gotta change my prediction.
Okay, change your prediction.
That's my prediction.
That's a good result for Sampdoria with the new coach not being able to implement his system. 1-1 draw is probably going to happen. Another game that Napoli will be watching, and that is Bologna-Inter. Because if we look at the standings, Vince,
yes,
we have Roma at 32, who will be playing Monday against Cagliari. That's a win for Roma. We don't have to talk about that one. We have Juve at 31. We have Napoli, who's still mate at 28, and we have Inter and Fiorentina following them at 25 and 24 respectively. So an Inter win against Bologna puts them level with Napoli in third place. If I was an Interista,
In Bologna, I'm gonna go with a tie on that one too as well.
that would be a tie. I say Inter takes advantage of a struggling Bologna, and Inter's at 28 points, laughing at Milan, who is at 11th place in the standings at 14 points.
Alright. By the way, guys, please don't go out and bet with our predictions. Obviously, we're not professionals.
But if you want to bet, I couldn't care less.
Alright, guys, so we're gonna take it over to our red cards of the week. I'm gonna have to go with Mr. Abate. That I think he could have handled and responded to these whole allegations that Juventus want him a bit better. Saying stuff that, mi fa piacere to hear, a big team like Juventus is interested. Right now, the only thing I want to do is do well with Milan. At the end of the season, we'll talk about it. I don't think it was a proper answer for the time that what we're going through right now at Milan. I think he could have said, interest, I hear about it every day. These are not things to talk about right now. We'll talk, you can ask me these things, when the time has come. I just found that it didn't demonstrate the true rossonero, kind of thing. So my red card, Abate, for you.
Well said. For me, my red card of the week is going to go to Mario Balotelli. Just on the sole fact that I've been watching him play these past couple of weeks, and this game too against Genoa, he seems like a player who's mentally not there. Now, for what reason, I have no idea why. Is there personal problems? Is there other problems coming from, like we've touched on in previous weeks, his agent filtering his mind with dumb things like, we're going to try to get you out of Milan? He came to Milan to be serene and to be comfortable with himself and not deal with this public thing. But on the field, Mario, you're not doing yourself any favors. He's second guessing himself on everything that he does, whether it's a small 2-foot pass to a shot. He's hesitating on the shot, which causes him to lose the ball. He's trying to take on 3-4 defenders at a time. He's in places on the field where he should not be, because those are the places where people who could actually get him the ball in dangerous places for him to score would be. So he's kind of running around everywhere and almost like a chicken without a head. And I don't understand why. And personally, we want him back because he's very important to Milan and he's very important to the Italian national team.
And he played well with the national team. He had a great passing. Performances like this.
We understand that this is a weaker team, but him being the one with the superior talent, he should be the one who's been taking over Milan and becoming.
I can't take this anymore.
Easily.
Now, can you just close us off with, there's some sort of general hospital story going on in the Serie A.
Oh,
it's always entertaining, right?
General red card. It's Maxi Lopez and his ex-wife and Iaccardi getting involved in that, and there's a sexual triangle. I can't even believe we're talking about this, so let's leave it for next week. Take it easy, guys. Thank you for tuning in.
And thanks to AC Milan MTL. Ciao, guys.
Ciao.